show y'all how I made this standing planter. I'd been on the lookout for a standing planter that was a little bit sturdier because my cats were constantly knocking over the tripod one that I had, and I was just really struggling to find anything that fit the price point that I wanted and also was sturdy enough to withstand the cats. So I ended up making one on my own. This is a pretty simple project and can be modified to fit the size of pot that you need. So I ended up using a project panel that I got at Lowe's, some hairpin legs that I purchased from Amazon, a whole lot of pocket holes using a Kreg Jig, and then some stain. It fits this plant really nicely. It's really sturdy. The cats haven't even attempted to knock it over from what I've seen, and I really like it. So follow along to make your own. I like to start out with at least somewhat of a plan. So here's a basic sketch of how I wanted my pot to end up. I chose 16-inch hairpin legs to achieve the overall height of my plant, taking into account the height of the pot as well. My pot is 10 inches in diameter and 9 inches tall, so I opted for a 12-inch box to accommodate and conceal the pot. 12 inches is also a common board width, so it simplified my cuts. I chose to use a 12-inch by 6-foot project board, which is made of finger-jointed spruce, pine, and fir because I found them to be a good quality option from Lowe's. This one cost me $18. I measured and cut 3 12-inch pieces and 2 11 1/4 inch pieces, taking into account that each board is 3/4 of an inch thick. These measurements will make a 12-inch square box. For wider boards like this, it's really helpful to use a square to mark your cuts the full width of the board. I'm laying out my pieces to choose the size of the boards I want to show and those I want to hide. If there are any blemishes or cracks in the wood, I'll put those on the inside so they're not exposed. While doing this, I'm also making sure that they fit together properly. I cut my 3 12 by 12 pieces, which are the bottom and 2 of the sides, and then triple checked the measurements for cutting my last 2 pieces, which ended up being 11 1/4 inches wide as planned. Since we're making a box, it should be square, but this is a good time to make sure that everything fits together nicely. I'm just knocking off the edges that I cut using 60 grit sandpaper to make sure that they fit together nicely. When sanding, make sure to go along with the grain of the wood. It can be a little challenging on smaller areas such as the 3/4 inch side of the board, but do your best. I'm using a Kreg Jig to attach the sides of my box to the base. My wood is 3/4 of an inch thick, so I have the Kreg Jig and the collar for the bit set on the 3/4 inch setting. A Kreg Jig makes pocket holes in which you use screws to affix your pieces, and it makes for a very strong joint that is only visible from the inside of your project. Make sure your clamp is on pretty good while using the Kreg Jig because you don't want your material to shift around while drilling your pocket hole. I made 2 pocket holes on the bottom of each piece to affix it to the base. I also made a pocket hole on the top left and right of each 11 1/4 inch piece about 2 inches from the top to affix them to the 12-inch pieces. I attached my side pieces in a counterclockwise pattern using 1 1/4 inch screws to make sure that each piece was affixed to the base and its counterpart. This planter can easily be scaled up to make a larger box, but be careful of scaling down because there was just enough room to fit my drill in the box to secure the pieces together at the 12 by 12 size. I got wrapped up in the project and totally forgot to take a video, but I ended up going with the classic black stain by Varathane, which I'll link below along with all the other products that I used. I followed the manufacturer's instructions for applying the stain and put on 2 coats. Now that it's all dry, I'm going to attach my hairpin legs using 3 screws for each leg. All right, we've got the legs on and officially have a planter. I'll link the products and materials I used in the description below and include a cut list and step-by-step instructions. Thanks for checking out this video. Please let me know if you end up making your own planter. I would love to see what you come up with.